And welcome along and welcome back to OakHill. We are down at field 76 here because we're going to get the rest of this maize up. I have turned off crop moisture on seasons because we're not going to get this harvested otherwise. And I can show you why, because we are at 23% moisture on this field and Seasons is doing what Seasons does in its first year. We have zero chance of drying. We've got cold days today and the next day. There is just no way that this is going to dry in time. It might get close by the time the sun sets, but by the next day, it'll have reset thanks to the dew. So we are going to harvest this as it is. We're going to trust in our grain dryer to get it done and get it sorted. So let's head into the field and get our combine opened up. I'm gonna actually unfold the main combine first, and then once I've got myself into the field, then we can unfold our header. And this gate actually is hung the right way. It's hung in a way that you have to go round the field to the right with the combine when you start, which is more realistic. And I like that a lot. Combine on, header on, thresher on. Let's head into the crop. And away we go. And we'll see what kind of yield we get off here compared to field 66. Already it's a lower yield. I'm seeing about 95 to 100% yield on here, even without the lime. I did see a comment that said, oh, you know, you got a massive yield off here without it being treated. The field was treated, it just wasn't limed. To get 125% yield though, in places on a field that isn't limed, that was the thing that I found exceptional. Now, we are doing okay. We're getting more in line where I'd expect, having missed one stage of the setup on the field. We're getting 100%, and it's about where we expect it to be. And this is doing fairly well. It is 23.1%, and it'll be interesting to see as we go through the day, and as we cut this, and hopefully cut the soybeans, what difference that will make. Unfortunately, the drop in temperatures means that we're not going to be planting any more crops this year. We can't get the ground temperature up. It needs to be 5 degrees for anything to germinate, and we are now at... what is that? We're at 4 degrees at the moment, so that's not going to increase. Our air temperature is too low for us to actually get anything higher in the ground temperature before winter comes in. So completely pointless in actually putting anything in the ground at the moment. Cutting into our second headland, and we're up to 38%. So it's going to take most of 3 headlands for us to actually get a full tank off the combine. We can take 1.5 tanks in the trailer, I think we discovered last time. So that means that we should be fairly good for this field. I don't think we're going to get much more than that off this field. So the trailer is going to be, yeah, just hanging around, just getting emptied into, and then when everything's finished, we can take it up to our grain store and tip it out. Should be a fairly simple setup in that way. We are still getting the lower yield on here, and I'm looking at it and I'm kind of going, I think that's more along the lines of 95% rather than the full whack. Let's have a quick look in here and see what we've got on the harvest. Yield on here, that's 100% yield actually. Wow, that is impressive. I'm very pleased with that. We're going to make a good amount of money off this field in that case. Trying to keep my harvester far enough over to get the edge bits. This is a little bit less wide than I'd expect on this harvester, but it's still doing a nice job. It's just me who's not doing it so well. We should be up near about 70% when we get to the end of this field. So I think that might be a good time to bring our tractor and trailer in and unload this. Otherwise, we're going to get right round the other side of the field and then need to unload. And we know that we don't need to get 2 full tanks in order to fill our trailer. So that makes a lot more sense to me. Yeah, we are hitting 70% here. So that should be perfect. The only thing we've got to negotiate our way around is the gateway, but that should be all right. But at 73%, that should do us well. So auger out. We'll get the tractor and trailer into this field. I'm going to get the cover off my trailer first. Someone was asking me, how do you do that in-game, take the cover off like that? That is a mod. That is the manual cover mod, I think it is. It is available on the mod hub, and I really like it. I really like taking the cover off manually myself from outside the vehicle rather than going into it. And again, it's one of those updates I'd like to see along with something like manual attach, because it doesn't add anything in control wise that you need to do to the game, but just adds that nice little extra touch of realism to it that just really works well. And our combine is just emptying out. There we go. Auger in, and let's get ourselves on a 3rd headland here. Will this actually do this whole field? I just want to go and turn this tractor off. 43%. So yeah, we could have gone a little bit further, but it made sense not to. 3 headlands done, and there really isn't much of this field left. We have just sort of this thin slither down the middle. So I'm going to open that up. We have got a GPS course set, but you can see there really isn't that much. Hopefully there's a course down the middle of it here, which I think is going to still come out, because this is a fairly odd-shaped field. This, I think, is going to still come out halfway through up this side here. Yeah, I can see where the headland comes round, and you can see it up here. So we'll clear off this little triangle that we're going to create, and then we'll go down and we'll clear off the other side on this, and that should then actually clear the field up pretty much. We know that 43% is about 73% of this harvester, or 43% of the trailer is about 73% of this harvester. So we've got no worries about getting the rest of this field in here. We are only at 35% now, and we have not got a huge amount of field left. Having cleared off the triangle at the bottom corner, I'm now going to do the same with the one at the top corner. We've got, I'm going to bring it just in to here, so we have a nice long strip on our way back, and then the rest of this will then be handled by cutting into here. So cut into here, open this up, take this little triangle of crop that we've got at the top end of the field, and then we'll be in a position where we can just go back on this nice long stretch here and empty into the trailer when we get back. We are, again, only at 54% at this point, so a full trailer is looking like an optimistic position to be in. Hopefully, though, we'll get fairly close to it if we're lucky. Our final row, and we are at 61% full at the moment. It's not even going to break 70%. We're going to be nowhere near a full trailer off this field. Not overly surprising. We've got an okay level of yield on here, but not an exceptional one. And it's done okay. I'm happy with what we've got off here. To get 100% yield off this field, that it would have been To get 100% yield off this field, that is acceptable and good, especially considering we didn't manage to lime this. More in line with what I'd been expecting from field 63, but it would have been good to get a larger one. I think we could get a full trailer off this field if we were able to get the yield up a bit. If we were able to get 125%, get the lime on it, get all the fertilizer on it and everything, I think we would do fine with that. So combine empty again. We have not filled the trailer as we suspected we wouldn't. Just gonna fold everything up, and while that's folding, let's check what we've got. 81%, 11,000 litres off that field. Not bad at all. I'm happy with it. It would have been good to have had a higher yield, but it's not bad that we didn't. Let's get this up to the top, get this tipped, and then we're going to take the combine up to the shop because we need to switch out our headers in order to get one for the soybeans. All in all, I think that's been a fairly successful maize harvest. We've done really well off field 63. I mean, getting a 125% off a big percentage of that field has been really good, and to get 100% off the field we've just done as well, that is amazing as well. We now need to swap this header out, get rid of this and replace it with a grain header. So let's put this down, detach all of that, and there we go. So back it off, and that can then be returned here. Don't need to bring it to here to return, but seeing as we've got to come up here anyway, we might as well return that. Yes, there we go. It says sold, but it's not, it's just returned. And then over here we want to get ourselves a new header. So that is going to be the 7.6 meter free flow 25 foot. Quite a big header actually. Quite useful. We are going to lease this for 2,500. Our money is again going down rather quickly, and we're going to put that on a Lagoon 24 header trailer. We want to get that in the Massey Ferguson red. Should fit on this. I've got a similar header on Bessie Beneath fitting on one of these trailers, and we're going to lease this as well. Only 255, but kind of necessary to get a header of this size back. So let's jump in and get our harvester lined up. Easier if I pop into third person and get this lined up and around. Normally I would recommend on a shop like this that goes from right to left, putting the header trailer, or getting the header trailer first. Because otherwise you have to do what we're doing here, which is looping all the way around the header trailer to come and put our header onto it. Now I want to put this fairly far back in order to actually pull this with this combine. We're going to need quite a lot of slack, and hopefully that will still be fine. Let's unload it there. It is on the header trailer, and there's no way we can fold the chopper up at the back, unfortunately. But that should give us enough space to get this on. There we go. Do we have enough turning space? Yes, we do. Perfect. Let's get this back down to our field then, and see if we can get some soybeans cut today as well. And we're going to start with field 32 up here. We've got a nice bit of space where we can get our header trailer uncoupled and then get the header onto the combine. If I bring the combine round like that a little bit, we should be okay. Try not to drive over our rows of potatoes we still need to collect up. There's not a huge amount of maneuvering, and they have made it onto the road, unfortunately. So put this between these two trees, bring the combine up, and we should be able to get ourselves nicely lined up like so, and then just lift our header off. Perfect. So reverse it up, and then there should be enough space to get through this gateway here with this. I'm going to unfold my combine, start it up threshing. Oh, we need to connect up our cables and everything first. Start it up threshing. There we go. Start up our header and into the soybeans. 22.3% moisture at the moment. So it is coming down slowly, but it would never ever reach the level we need it to for today at all. By complete contrast to the last field, the yield on here is horrible. We are getting about a 70% yield off this field. It's absolutely mad. I can't believe it is as bad as it is. This is silty clay that these are on, so it was always going to be a massive, massive difference between our earlier fields and here. But this is just to a level I hadn't expected. Again, we didn't line these fields. We got nothing to do these with, and it is showing massively. We are going to be getting, well, we are getting 3 tons per hectare on here. Which is a really low result. I don't know if I'm going to do 3 headlands because we are in a position where that will be most of the field. But we could do that and then just clear up afterwards. Give ourselves enough space to breathe around the edges with this combine. But it's an absolutely awful field. And I'm not expecting our other field of soybeans to be any better, because these 4 fields up here that we have are pretty much all silty clay. Couple more rows and then this field will be done. We are sitting at 58%. We're not going to break 65% of a tank on this. We are lucky, to be honest, to be breaking 60%. Less than 6,000 litres. That is a tiny crop off this field, and does not bode well for the other one. I'm gonna just keep going here. We've got a tiny little row on the left hand side that we're gonna have to get. We're in no danger of having the auger stuck in crop, so we can keep that on crop side, but it is yeah, a tiny field, this one. And we've got 4 of these. So we've got this one, and we've got field 31, 33, and 62 as well. 62 we've had a similarly bad crop on from the potatoes. I'll turn this off and we'll go and get our tractor and trailer. And so as our remaining soybean field is over there and is part of that set, we're going to have a similarly bad crop off there as well. We're not going to have a full trailer off both these fields. That is the ridiculous thing. Let's unload this. We're not quite over. That's all right. Let's reposition ourselves and get ourselves in the right place. There we go. And that then should do that. And I want to disconnect this trailer and leave that there emptying, so that we can go and get our header trailer and get the header loaded up on here, because it'll be much more maneuverable getting into that field, into field 33 with a tractor and the header trailer than it will with the combine, where we then have to swing it round. Anything else to connect up? No. So let's just bring this round here and we can just get this all connected up and done. Yeah, field 33 is only marginally bigger, and so is not going to give us a full trailer's worth, or even a full tank off this combine, I don't think. Header lined up. Yeah, let's have a look in cab, see where we are. I can see about the same amount. Just straighten up a little bit. There we go. Right, and disconnect that, and disconnect the header. There we go. And back her off. And we'll go and take the header round to the field. And then we're in a position where we can get the combine in and get it cutting the second set of soybeans. Much easier for us to get into position by bringing that in on the trailer first. We're going to be able to... I was hoping to get this on without destroying any crops. We should be able to do that. Let's get close so it doesn't cause any issues with our trailer. Lift that up. There we go. Connect this up. Oh, there we go. Like that, and then we can just pull this forward, get the header trailer out the way. And as I said, I don't think we're going to get a full tank off here, so we can just load the tractor and trailer up, or load the header back onto the combine, and then come back with the header trailer to, or the carting trailer to get that sorted. Right, that on, flip over and down, and we should be able to nicely get into the field. And this field is just as bad on the yield as the other one. No big surprises there really then. Something I will point out as I'm coming down this side here. Look at the difference in yield the other side of the fence. That is absolutely nuts. How is that even possible? Let's have a look at this. We are coming down the side here. Field 63, that is at 100%. Field 66, where we are, is at 125%. And where we are at the moment is 85%. And in fact, Field 32 did at least get up to 90%. But that is crazy. Let's have a look at how our fields are. So nitrogen on this field and 32 is low, but we expect that on soybeans anyway because we don't add anything to it. The pH here is actually better than it was on 66. That is crazy. And there we go. There is our soil type difference. Field 66, almost completely 100% loam. Field 33, opposite end of the scale, silty clay. That is, yeah, absolutely mad. It's separated by the hedgerow. 2 headlands in, and despite the low yield, we do look like we're going to get a full tank off this field. We are at 48% at this point, and we're about to do, well, we're about to start cutting in. I'm pretty happy with this. We're going to take the end of this bit off, and then I think I've got the GPS set up for that top row. We're going to take one more headland. We need a little bit more maneuvering than we've got. So one more headland. We're at 50% after 2 headlands though, so we're going to be at about 75-ish, maybe just under, by the time we take the 3rd headland off. And the advantage of taking this 3rd headland, it's going to square this field off very nicely for us to actually cut in and finish it off. So yeah, let's see where we are at the end of this 3rd headland. 3rd headland is done, and we are going to cut in around about here. I think we're going to end up with about 2 cut-ins on this field. We are at 68%. So 75% was a little bit optimistic, I think. But we should be all right going up and into this field. I'm still thinking we're not going to get much more than a single tank. If we do get a tank on here, we are going to have to go and get the trailer. And we'll drop the header trailer off at somewhere that is easy for us to unload the header onto. But looking at the map and looking at where the yield map is going, I'm very much thinking a tank would be a good amount off this field. First cutting just about done, and we are up to 86%. Where does that leave us? With just this little patch up here to get done. Oh, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be really close. Let's get GPS on. That's still turning it. Trick with GPS, never have it so that it's still turning the wheels when you're in the crop. It should already have straightened itself up. Otherwise, you end up with some really funny lines when you're using it. We only have 2.5 rows here, and we are up to 89%. Are we actually going to get another full tank off this field? That is the big question right now. And coupled with the other field of soybeans we had, does that mean we've actually got a full trailer? I'm more skeptical about. I don't think we're going to have a full trailer off here, off these two fields, which is only 14,500 litres. That is nothing. You compare that to what we have on the potatoes. And the potatoes are going to be our big cash crop this year. And maybe the corn as well. Corn and potatoes are biggest crops for paying on here this year. Looks like the soybeans are not going to be it. And well, the canola and the rye failed. So it's amazing. People always ask, what are the best crops to make money off? And time and again, I'm now coming back and going, potatoes. Potatoes, sugar beets, carrots. And I may be adding corn to that as well, because we're going to make far more money off those than we're going to get anywhere near doing with our other crops. 97% is what we've ended up with here. So let's get the header trailer into position, and then we'll go and grab ourselves the trailer, and we'll see exactly how much we make on here in as far as our yield goes. Tractor and trailer back, we have 36% in here, 5,300 litres. Combine has just under 8,000, so it's not going to be a full trailer. There's just not enough in that combine to give us a full trailer. Let's find out and unload. So that is the combine empty. Let's jump into the tractor. 94%, 13,694 litres of soybeans. That is not that much at all. Really isn't. So I need to get these two bits of kit back up to the main farm. It's been a successful, if damp, harvest. And we are going to be getting started on collecting up the potatoes next time, and seeing exactly how many of those we actually have from our early harvest. For now, though, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.